What if you had the solution to a very urgent problem? Would you share it?
You are watching Influence Media, PSI TV, the Netflix of biz brands.
Well, we have that exact situation here in this story, and let's see how sharing information is so vital for you as an expert in today's economy. So it starts out with a very terrible time of hunger in Samaria. This is picked up in 2 Kings chapter 6, verses 24 through 25. It was so bad, and it was wartime. And it says that it was so bad, that this terrible hunger was so bad, that a donkey's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver. If you had the solution to this problem, you were hungry, you found a solution, would you share it? We're going to finish up this story, seeing what the Bible says about this, what academic research says, all of which I bring week after week, these strategies to increase discovery of you and your offer, optimizing opportunities for you to become famous for what you do. Trudy Bman here of Profitable Social Influence TV, PSI TV. I'm also a doctoral candidate at Liberty University, and this is my area of research interest: influential reach. This is the space where, yes, you may be very influential, like a big fish in a small pond, very influential amongst a small group of your peers at church, in an association, at school, whatever. However, that is not going to sustain any business or longevity of an organization. You do need to jump ponds and grow again, growing your influence beyond that peer group, out to the edges of your city, to the state, to the nation, and maybe even the world. So let's pick up this story. We jump over to 2 Kings chapter 7, verses 3 and 4. Can't read it all. Please go read it for yourself. And the 4 leprous men who are suffering through this hunger in Samaria, just like everybody else, look at each other and say, hey, why are we sitting here waiting to die? There's no food in Samaria. If we go into the city, we'll die. If we stay here, we'll also die. So let's go to the Aramean camp. That's the enemy camp. If they let us live, we live. If they kill us, we'll just die. Many of you watching this show, you are a leader, you're a business owner, and you have risks before you. The situation is not good. And when you look around you at your options, really, none of them really look very good. All of them look like you're in for some really rough roads ahead. So just like these leprous men, we are constantly looking at our options, and sometimes many of them don't look very good, but they have decided, well, we're going to go into the enemy camp. It is dangerous, but we know that food is there. Sometimes the solution you seek is on the other side of something extremely risky and dangerous. Well, let's see where this story takes us. Everybody in the city was starving. These men found an amazing solution. The Aramean camp, you need to read the story for yourself. God had done a miracle. And the Aramean camp, the enemies had just run away from their camp, leaving everything behind, all their clothing, silver, food, everything. They just left it. And these lepers came along and found it. They ate their fill. They found some goodies for themselves. They started to stash it. They're like, ooh, everybody else is hungry and starving. We cannot keep this information to ourselves. They found the solution to a very urgent problem. And at first they had no plan to tell anybody. And then they realized that's not a good thing. So they decided, we are going to share this information. And they shared the information by going to the gatekeepers. Who are the gatekeepers you need to be approaching? For many of you, it's PSI TV. Now, we don't gatekeep this awesome distribution mechanism. We make it available to even those of you with very, very small social media followings. in last week's video, we talked about how that is not the case for many other platforms and shows you may try to be on. A lot of these shows, podcasts, platforms, stages, ask for your social media outlets, your links. And if you don't have a social media following, they're not interested in hearing what you have to say, because they're looking for that two-way audience sharing. In other words, they'll put you on their stage before their audience. They're also looking for your audience to participate in what was going on their stage. And for a lot of platforms, if you don't have an audience, they're not interested in you. And those gatekeepers are gatekeeping to make sure that that two-way exchange happens. Well, over here at Profitable Social Influence TV, PSI TV, we've decided that that's not going to be an issue for us, because we remember when we were where you are. Because when we got started with the information that we wanted to share, the solution we found that we wanted to share with the public, we came and found this exact situation, that the gatekeepers were blocking this information from getting out to those who needed to hear it, simply because at the time, I did not have the kind of social following that they were looking for. Yes, since then we've built a social following. However, now that we have the content distribution mechanism, we have not been locking that off to you. So as a gatekeeper of PSI TV, we do allow for those of you who have this message to share that we know is in alignment with our audience, that there is a system in place for you to be able to share this news, not to be silent, but to go and tell the people. So these people have found the solution. They realize there's no point in keeping silent, and they go and tell the people via the message going through the gatekeepers. Some of you, that is exactly what you need to be doing. Now, what does academic research have to say? The title of this research was How to Share a Really Good Secret, Managing Sharing Secrecy Tension Around Scientific Knowledge and Disclosure. So this is peer-reviewed research, which means other peers looked at it, and it's not just one person's statement and stuff. So one of the things that they found in this academic realm is what is the motive for sharing? And there are reasons to keep secrets, guys. I'm not saying everything should be put out there, and there's sometimes a timing issue. But one of the things that they found in this research is something that I'm even working through myself. So as I mentioned, I'm a doctoral candidate. I'm part of this academic space where my research is happening. And until the research is done, some of the findings we want to keep private so that when it is shared, we get an academic reward. We get some reputation and prestige and status from sharing the information. So I came across that situation because as I was doing my research in the space of influential reach, I honestly could not wait to package that information, to put it out there. I started putting it out there long before it should have. So that is why I switched what my dissertation is going to finally be on. And I trademarked the word reachology, which is I've defined as a science and art and study of influence and reach. So I wanted to get that information out there really, really quickly. But when this research found that there were two main motivations for sharing or not sharing findings. One was the academic reward. And, sometimes that was the reason why they held back the share. The other was the commercial interest. Now, funny thing is that in the space of commercial interest, if they shared information, they were able to recruit great research assistants, and they were able to find other great collaborations. But if they kept it quiet, they couldn't get that. But sometimes revealing the knowledge ahead of time can allow competitors to jump on it, and they'll make the financial gain. So when you find really great information, the motive for sharing comes into play. Now, if you have no plan to share your information, you intend to keep it super secret well, this is not for you. However, as I shared earlier in my building up to this, that I had information that I wanted to share, and rather than wait till my research dissertation was published, I started to publish it and I put a trademark in place. So there are things that you can do. You can copyright things, you can trademark things, you can put your own unique mechanism, which even if something seems similar, the fact that you have your own unique mechanism on it, it will make it special. We have many unique mechanisms here at PSI TV. For one, we have our Get Hired. It's an easy system. And HIRED is an acronym for something, and EASY is an acronym for something. That's an example of having a unique mechanism. Okay, so you have to decide your motivation for sharing. But in the case of those lepers, everybody was starving. There was an urgent need in the city of Samaria. They found the solution, and they know it was absolutely wrong just to withhold that information for themselves. In fact, had they been discovered, they would have been punished. So you guys have amazing solutions to people's problems. You figured some stuff out over time, over your experiences, and you have some great insight to share. I'm going to give you an example. You have lost 100 pounds, and even though you have no fitness or nutrition credentials, you have accomplished something amazing. And just sharing your story might help motivate somebody to say, if she can do it, then it can be done, and maybe I can do it too. Maybe they'll hear something in what you said that triggers for them a similar confidence to move forward. You really have solutions wrapped up in your life experiences and your studies and your interactions in life with people, and you have some solutions that, if you put it out there, will serve others. And failure to do so, keeping that secret, is actually a detriment. Someone's life could be saved because you shared that information, as in the case of that Bible story. Now, when it comes to Profitable Social Influence TV, PSI TV, this is the area where we want to just expose you our value chain, because we have the content creation, we have the platform and distribution, and we have the marketing and promotion. We're going to talk more about that next week. However, I just want to point out to you that we are not gatekeeping this content and message distribution system. We are making it available to those who have a message that they do want to share with others. So if you have a message, and you do have to apply, because we want to make sure it's in alignment, and we want to make sure that we are set up to distribute your message effectively and far and wide. So we do have set up for you if you are interested. Again, when it comes to message sharing, solution sharing, and message distribution, PSI TV may be the resource that you have been looking for, so that you can go from unknown to discovered, becoming famous for what you do. Because right now, to the public, you are just one of many. They don't know how different you are from the others that they're around. Now, you and I both know that you are unique in your way of doing things, in the quality, whatever. But to the public who needs a solution, they don't know you. They don't know you exist, and they don't know how you're different from everybody else who says they offer the same solution. So we need to get you moved from unknown to discovered. We need to get that spotlight on you. And that is what this is all about, becoming famous for what you do, so that people know your solution exists, know that you have the solution, and that it's available through you, and that of all the many options that they may or may not know exist, that they at least know the solution exists, and you have access to the solution and make that available for them. You don't want to withhold that information, because withholding it might be affecting someone's life in a really, really big way. When it comes to solution message distribution, Profitable Social Influence TV, PSI TV, is a great way to get your name in front of your ideal audience, so that yours becomes the name that comes to mind for the thing that you do, the obvious choice from the pack. Trudy Bman here. I am super simple to find. our goal as we put this community content out week after week, we are delivering strategies for you to optimize your opportunities to be